Hello everybody, this is Andre97, and this is actually like my 4th or 5th time trying to record this. The other, like, 4 times I messed up in the opening and I wasn't happy with it. But anyway, we're playing Hearts of Iron 4 today. Specifically, we're playing Fascist United States. We're gonna basically take this guy out of office, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He doesn't deserve to be in there because we want to be fascist. We're gonna take this Silver Legion of America and put William Dudley Pelley, however you say his last name, into power. And yeah, I haven't played any of the Hearts of Iron 4 in the series except for this one. This dropped, what was it, a week or two ago, and I just picked it up because I like Paradox games. And yeah, I've already put a few hours into it. I've played a few campaigns. I played as the Germans as my first campaign, then I played as the USSR, and that was fun, just taking over everything as the big red blob. And then a week ago, I started a campaign as Fascist America, and that one I had a lot of fun with, and so I basically just wanted to restart it to basically like fix my mistakes and just kind of play it differently and see what would have happened. Because in my first one, I didn't know I wanted to be fascist right off the bat. I kind of did it at a late start, and so I got a little behind, and then I just eventually conquered all of South America. And then I went to war with Canada, and basically at that point World War II had already started, and so I was at war with all the allies, and yeah, I just basically continued that campaign. But this time we're immediately going to start off with being fascist. And to do that, we're going to need political power, because I'm only getting one a day, and I don't want to wait 150 days. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the WPA. The effect of this is going to be our national focus. The effect of this is going to just give us 150 political power right off the bat. And with that political power, we are going to hire a political advisor, the fascist one. He gives daily fascism support .10. And basically, it'll start, the fascists will start to gain popularity. We'll start getting events, and eventually there'll be a lot of events asking you to like go ahead and start a civil war. But if you wait long enough, or at least in the campaign I did, if you just wait long enough, you'll just automatically change the government. And so that's basically what we're going to do. And yeah, but other than that, let's zoom in here. We can go ahead and figure out what we're going to research. I like to start off with support weapons just because we're way behind in that. I mean, look, 1918, we're in 1936. The other thing I like to research is the basic machine tools to get the production efficiency cap up. Oh gosh, I just changed that one. And then construction for the construction speed of 10%. Let's go back and add the support weapons. And then this fourth one I've been playing around with. I typically do this one just to get the research time down, and I think that's probably what we're going to go through with today. As America, you start off with superior firepower doctrine researched, and that's typically the one. In my other playthrough I stayed with it, but we might change to mobile warfare. I'm not sure. We're probably just going to stick with it. I don't see a reason to change. And we're not really behind in anything else except for artillery. So I think we're just going to go ahead and get this research time minus 2% down, because that's really good. And we have free civilian factories. Let's make a few more. So if you shift click, you can just automatically do the max that province can hold, or that state can hold. And so we're just going to do a few here, and then we'll go ahead and queue up a few military factories after those are done. Because civilian factories, I want to build a lot of those just because you can trade those. And as America, for some reason in my other campaign I was just running out of resources. I think because I was just playing in a weird way and I was just changing things. But yeah, we're going to start up all of those military factories, and hopefully I won't have to mess with the screen for a while. The other thing about America that sucks, and this is one of the reasons I like to become fascist, just because it allows you to change government types and all that. The Democratic Party cannot declare war on a nation or a country with the same ideological group without a war goal. They cannot puppet, and they cannot justify war goals of a country that hasn't caused any war tension. And what we want to do is we want to basically conquer everything over here. We basically just want to be the Americas. some of these guys are already fascist, like Venezuela starts off as fascist. In my other campaign, I started a fascist revolution in Brazil and Argentina, and then I basically just took all the other countries, like I took Mexico and everything in Central America, and I took Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador, and I just kind of let them hang out down here, and they took over everything else. And then and that's when I started to take over Canada. But in this one, I think we're not even going to invite those guys to a faction or anything. We're just going to literally take over everything. We have free military Oh, the other thing, all three of these things suck. So we have the disarmed nation, which makes our recruitable population go down to 1%, whereas volunteers, even better than that, we're at 1.5, our limited conscription. And some of our national focuses let us change those. And also the trade law, the free trade is alright, but especially when we get into wars, I want to change it to a closed economy just to keep all our resources. And this is the real kicker. Undisturbed isolation has our consumer factories producing 40% of the goods. We have minus 50% to all construction for the factories. We can't generate war gold unless we're at 100%. We can't. There's just a lot of penalties, and it sucks. So yeah, that's one of the big things we're going to change. And yeah, anyway, so we need to just go ahead, and I have 5 of these. We need to just go ahead and just give them all here to infantry equipment, because we're going to need those because we're going to start training up. Here, let's click off these. For naval dockyards, I guess we can just build more, just fill these out. I'm not really concerned about the Navy that much, especially at the beginning, because we're not going to really need a Navy to just like run through all these countries down here. We're low on manpower. This is a problem I had a lot with the original campaign I did, and so I'm gonna try to fix this in a way. Like I said earlier, I haven't played really Hearts of Iron that much, and so I'm still very new to the game and new to the idea. But yeah, we're basically just going to try to get rid of this altogether, and that's gonna help with us changing like from the disarmed nation to limited conscription or extensive conscription or just anything like that. And when we become fascist, we can actually do this one. It'll increase the training time, but 5% recruitable population is a lot better than this 1%. And we start off with needing rubber. So let's go ahead and let's just trade with the United Kingdom. We'll give them 1 factory, and that should solve all our problems. And yeah, and another big problem is we have I think I already mentioned this, but we have 98 consumer factories working on consumer goods. And yeah, we're in the Great Depression and all, but I want those working on these. I want all these military factories and everything. And eventually we'll start building synthetic oil refineries and stuff like that. Alright, let's go ahead and group up all our armies and make a division. So we'll make this new army. We'll just go ahead and put Douglas MacArthur in there. Gosh, I cannot speak. We'll make these guys garrison over here, because the first place we're going to invade is Mexico. And then we're going to get them to exercise so we can get them off the level 2 and get them to level 3. Because when you get them to level 3, they get a plus 25% modifier in combat, and that's a pretty big difference considering they don't get any when they're level 2. We're actually going to take one of these guys. We'll just take this one right here. And we're going to make him our boot camp. So with boot camps, what I generally do is I just take one of the worst generals like this guy. I make him go garrison. We can make him garrison just, I guess, right here. And he'll garrison there, and we'll just get him to exercise. And when we start recruiting troops, we'll just make them go to him. And how you can do that is you can go to recruit and deploy. We'll start training some infantry divisions, and we're definitely going to want to change this division designer pretty quickly once we start getting the combat experience. Just because the combat width here is 18, and I want it at 20. And yeah, I wanted it 20, actually 22, because MacArthur, I think, gives the minus 10%. Yeah, he gives minus 10% to combat with. So we're gonna get the division designer to 22 combat with. We also want to get the soft attack up, and how we can do that is to do the combat with. We could easily just like add an infantry, but we'll play around with it later, just to make sure, just to see what gives us the best combinations. So we'll just place these guys in Wyoming. We'll assign them to this guy. There it goes, and we'll just add 10. There we go. Alright, so add 10. Those guys will garrison over there. And then we have some more troops up here. We have one guy up here. We'll just let him sit there. And then we have troops out here in the islands, but we're not really, hopefully we won't, like, Japan won't declare war on us or anything. I do have it as historic, the other AI is focusing on historical routes, but hopefully they just won't, especially when I go fascist and start invading. Hopefully they'll get distracted over here with China, and hopefully China can drag that war out. So the next thing we're gonna do is to, oh gosh, we are low on a lot of things. We need a lot of stuff, maybe, but we do also need a lot of these civilian factories. Here, let's actually get rid of these. Let's decrease the amount of civilian factories we're building. That way we can just get to these quicker, because the more military factories, because I think we only have like 10. How many do we have? Oh gosh. Alright, yeah. Yeah, we only have 10 military factories right now, and we're way behind on everything else. And yeah, I think that's everything I want to do in this first video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully in the next episode we'll actually start, like, we'll let the game unpause and see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like and comment if you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and yeah, see you guys later.